UFC Fight Night, Lemos versus Jandiroba. We're going to break down this card. I'm going to tell you exactly who are my picks and why. Now, before I start, guys, make sure you like the video, you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you follow me on Twitter. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because in my Twitter, I share with you exactly who I like, what I pick. And you can see I told you about Jasmine Jasdavicius when she was an underdog. And I told you about Charles Johnson, also as an underdog, and both won. So make sure you follow me both on Twitter and you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's move on. So, we got the first fight. We got Muhammad Usman taking on Thomas Peterson. This is a stay away from me, first and foremost. I'll tell you one thing. I think Peterson is overly hyped. When he fought against Jamal Pose, he managed to take him down once. After that, nothing. He just got pieced up on the feet. Now, Muhammad Usman, this guy has a wrestling background. He's physically strong. I don't know if he's as strong as the train, but he's physically strong. And he has the better striking. So, this is going to, the question here would be, would Usman manage to stuff the takedowns? And if he gets taken down, would he be able to get up? I would say that he would manage to stuff the takedowns and he has the better striking. So I'm picking Usman to win. This is a very low confidence pick. I'm not betting this, obviously, but this is the pick. Next one, we got Luana Carolina taking Lucy Pudilova. This is another stay away from me. What I would say is I like Carolina here. I think she's the far better overall fighter. Pudilova lost to Eileen Perez, where she looked terrible. She couldn't stuff the takedowns, and only in the third round she managed to somehow do something. She lost to Jocelyn Edwards. This is I remember this fight. There's a big, like, I remember that fight because I bet on Jocelyn Edwards, and I didn't watch it live, but she was like plus 5,000, something ridiculous, because it looked like she was losing and she won. So anyway, I just think that for the value you get here, Luana Carolina is the better pick. She had the better competition, and she can win, man. She gotta win over Lupita Godinez. Like, she's good. I'm picking Luana Carolina to win here. Next fight, we got Trey Ogden and Loic Radzhabov. This is gonna be a good fight. I think that Ogden can win. The reason is his wrestling is pretty good. Like, he can definitely stuff the takedowns that Loic is gonna try to implement, and he would also be able to get takedowns of his own. Like, we saw Loic getting taken down. What would be the edge here, in my opinion, for Mr. Ogden is the fact that he's a better striker. He keeps the distance well. He knows how to get inside and pick his shots. He has really good striking defense as well. He was never knocked out for a reason. And I think that at plus money, he's the pick. I don't know. I don't think that Loic Radzhabov would manage to, did to him what he did, for example, to Esteban Ribovic. I don't think so. I think that he can definitely get a takedown maybe, but Trey Ogden would just get right up, or Trey Ogden would get takedowns off his own like he did against Kurt Holobaugh. So I like Ogden, man. You're giving me Ogden as a plus 125. I'll take it. I like Ogden. I'm probably betting on it. Next one, stay away from me. Miranda Maverick and Dion Barbosa. Listen, Miranda Maverick is is a wrestler, and what I like about her is she's very physical, right? She looks physical. She looks like the daughter of, what's his name, the guy who was in the UFC and the WWE. Forgot his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, if Brock Lesnar had a daughter, she would probably look like that. And he has a daughter and she looks like him. Anyway, she was never submitted. She got submissions on her own. In my opinion, she would manage to take Dion Barbosa down and just avoid the takedowns. It's going to be a very grinding match. Dion Barbosa would be close to maybe getting a triangle or close to maybe getting an armbar, but it's not going to happen. I don't think she's going to manage to take it. I was disappointed from her performance in her last fight. To be honest, I bet on her and she won. I wouldn't be surprised if she would have lost, because it was a very back and forth. The thing is, she couldn't finish Ernesta, which is weird because she has a win against Karine Silva. It's not a submission win, but I don't know. I just expected more. She was also knocked out. I really don't think that we're gonna see Miranda Maverick knocking her out. What we're gonna see is Miranda Maverick controlling her. We're going to see her just implementing heavy grappling and getting the win by grinding a decision. So that's my pick. Next one, we got Brian Kelleher and Cody Gibson. In his last fight, Brian Kelleher was sent to the Shadow Realm by Mr. Garbrandt. Man, 3 losses in a row, 3 finishes. I don't know. I'm not picking him. I just think he's at the end of the road for him as a fighter. He had a long career, a lot of fights, almost 40 fights. Yeah, almost 40 fights. And at this point of his career, I think he just maybe looking to get a paycheck. With all due respect, there's nothing wrong about it, yeah. On the other hand, Cody Gibson is he's showing like he's still striving for something. We could see it by his beautiful performance against Brad Katona. It was a really good fight. He was also, Miles Jones was just too much for him, but he kept pushing it. I think he can finish Kelleher. Cody Gibson is really well-rounded, good gas tank. Not the best UFC record, but it doesn't show who he really is. I'm picking Cody Gibson to win. I'm not gonna bet this fight, but yeah, I like Cody Gibson. Next one, we got either Amil taking on Jong Yong Lee. Jong Yong Lee, in my opinion, is gonna win. He's the favorite, and I think his striking, his reach, his size would be a problem for either Amil. I thought that he's gonna lose to Blake Builder, but he pissed up Blake Builder. I actually took the over on that fight. That was my bet. Now either Amil, he had a good performance against Fernie Garcia, but Fernie Garcia had never won in the UFC. In his fight against Emra Sonmez in Contender, if you guys saw that, he was terribly gassed. He was at the last round, it was just survival mode. He has heart. He's a good fighter, but I think that Jong Yong Lee is going to take that O and going to get the win by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out. He has really good striking, really dangerous. He almost knocked out Builder, and I just see him winning here. I like Jong Yong Lee, confident pick. Probably gonna lay a unit on him. Next fight, we got Bill Algeo taking Do Choi. This is again another tough fight to predict. I'm gonna pick Algeo. I was very disappointed in his last performance against Kyle Nelson. It was a very early stoppage, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't going his way anyway. With that being said, I think that Algeo can get the win here. I think he can outstrike. I think he can possibly knock out Do Choi, whose last fight was 1.5 years ago, while Bill Algeo, it was very active. I think Bill Algeo can also find the takedowns, maybe some control. I like Algeo here. This is again another fight I'm not gonna bet probably, just because getting a draw against Kyle Nelson is good, and I think that a point was deducted in that fight. But I like the activity that Algeo had. I like the reach advantage. I like the elusiveness of Algeo, and I think he's gonna win. That's it. Next fight, we got Cody Durden taking on Bruno Silva. We got two fighters which are, I would say, okay, Cody Durden is a wrestler, first and foremost. He's a very heavy pressure wrestler. The thing is, he's taking a guy who's good everywhere. Like Bruno Silva can grapple, Bruno Silva can knock you out, Bruno Silva can do anything and everything. And you know, Durden in his last fight against Tagir, he got dropped. He got dropped, I think, even against Mukayev. And he gives his neck when he runs for a takedown. Like, I can see Bruno Silva getting a guillotine choke and submitting him. He has nasty jiu-jitsu. Pretty sure he has some wins with a guillotine choke. With that being said, again, this is a stay away from me. But I think that the value here is gonna be Sungwoo Choi. That's it. Next one, we got Brett Tavares taking on Jong Yong Park. Brett Tavares coming off of a loss to Gregory Rodriguez, and Jong Yong Park coming off a split decision loss against Andre Muniz. This is again a fight that I think this will depend if Jong Yong Park can take it to the mat. You can see that most of his wins recently came off of a rear naked choke. Both lost to Rodriguez by knockout. You got to win against Marc-Andre Barrier. That's good. Listen, even if Jong Yong Park won't be able to get this fight, won't be able to take down Brett Tavares, I still he can outstrike. He can still outstrike Brett Tavares. And Brett Tavares, 36 years old, and I think that's gonna be him losing here. Okay, last fight, we got Amanda Lemos and virna Jandiroba. I'm picking virna Jandiroba. I think that she's the better wrestler, and I think she's going to be able to take Amanda Lemos down. And the most important part, she would be able to control her, get the ground and pound, and she can even strike. She has a good striking. And although Lemos has power, her Achilles heel was always her wrestling defense, and we saw it in her fight against Zhang Weili, which was 5 rounds of Zhang Weili just grounding and pounding her. So I like Jandiroba. I'm gonna pick her to win. I picked her to win as an underdog against Godinez, and I think she's gonna win now. She's very underrated. She's really good, and I think she can get it done, probably by decision. Both are very durable. If you want the over, if there's an over 2.5, I'll take it. But even if it's 5 rounds, I can see it going to a decision. Give me Jandiroba to win by decision, and let's go. If you haven't liked the video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do it right now. And I'll see you in the next video.